Welcome to the ultimate guide demystifying football's massive ecosystem. Today, we're doing a complete explainer of every individual award in football. Because, let's be honest, if you follow the beautiful game, keeping track of who won what, why they won it, and who actually voted for them, well, it can honestly feel like a sport in itself. So, we're going to cut right through the noise and break down the highest individual honors in world football.
Right off the bat, we run into this central tension in all of these individual awards. Who truly gets to decide the absolute best player in the world? Is it a closed panel of elite journalists, or is it a massive, democratic vote cast by fans, coaches, and captains? You see, these awards, they aren't just about undeniable skill on the pitch. They're really about who holds the power to define greatness in any given season.
Okay, here's how we're going to make sense of this rather chaotic topic. We'll start with the global heavyweights. Look at European club dominance. Shift over to World Cup glory. Spotlight the youth and rising stars, and finally wrap up with specialized and continental honors. Let's dive right in.
Section 1. The global heavyweights. Ballon d'Or versus FIFA the best.
So to really understand football greatness, we have to start with the sport's two most prestigious global trophies. These two giants have completely distinct identities, especially after they ended their joint partnership back in 2016. First, you've got the Ballon d'Or. Created way back in 1956 by France Football magazine, this one carries immense historical prestige. It's chosen strictly by elite journalists, and it smartly focuses on just the previous season's achievements, not a player's entire career. On the flip side, you have FIFA the Best. Created by FIFA itself, this one is highly democratic. The winner is decided by a massive voting pool that includes national team coaches, captains, journalists, and, yep, even the fans.
Now, what's really staggering about these global heavyweights is the number 8. Lionel Messi stands completely alone with a record 8 Ballon d'Or trophies. That is the most in history, and when you add in his 4 FIFA the Best wins, it perfectly illustrates a level of sustained dominance that, honestly, we may never witness again.
Moving on to Section 2. European Club Dominance. Kings of the Continent.
While those global awards grab the biggest headlines, UEFA actually oversees an incredibly competitive, dedicated ecosystem just for European club performance. They've streamlined things a bit recently. They dropped the Men's Player of the Year award, which was last hoisted by Erling Haaland, by the way, but they kept the ultra-prestigious Champions League Player of the Season. And since the Champions League is absolutely the pinnacle of club football, this award carries huge weight. The most recent crown went to Paris Saint-Germain's Ousmane Dembélé for a truly dominant 2024-25 campaign.
Which brings us to the ultimate European goal scorer, the European Golden Shoe. The fascinating thing here is that it's not just about raw numbers, it's about fairness. First, you tally up the total goals, but then, you apply a weighted multiplier based on league difficulty. Basically, a goal in a top-tier league earns more points, ensuring that true quality rises to the top. That's exactly how Kylian Mbappé won the 2023-24 race with 31 La Liga goals, narrowly beating out Victor Gyökeres and Mo Salah in this weighted system.
Section 3. World Cup Glory. The quadrennial honors. Because these honors are handed out only once every 4 years on the game's biggest stage, World Cup awards carry immense scarcity. The 2022 Qatar tournament is a perfect way to map out this ecosystem. You have 4 distinct honors. The Golden Ball goes to the best overall player for their influence and leadership. That was won by Lionel Messi. The Golden Boot for the top goal scorer went to Kylian Mbappé. The Golden Glove for the best goalkeeper was snatched up by Emiliano Martinez. And finally, the best young player for the top breakout star under 21 went to Enzo Fernandez.
And hey, speaking of the number 8, again, this time it represents Kylian Mbappé capturing that 2022 Golden Boot with exactly 8 goals. Achieving those kinds of numbers in such a short, incredibly high-pressure tournament is just mind-blowing, especially when you consider that tally included a genuinely stunning hat trick in the final against Argentina. He left absolutely no doubt.
Section 4. Youth and Rising Stars. Spotlighting the future legends.
As you know, football is constantly obsessing over the next generation, which gives us 2 massive youth awards. The Golden Boy, created in 2003 by Tuttosport, is strictly for under-21 players in European leagues and is voted on by journalists. But then you have the Kopa Trophy. Introduced in 2018 by France Football, this one considers under-21 players globally. And here's the ultimate flex of the Kopa Trophy. It is voted on exclusively by former Ballon d'Or winners. Seriously, imagine the greatest players in history singling you out as the future of the sport.
And that brings us to the absolute phenomenon that is Lamine Yamal. In 2024, Yamal made history by sweeping both the Golden Boy and the Kopa Trophy simultaneously. The truly staggering takeaway here? He achieved this dual crown at just 17 years old. He became the youngest ever winner for both of these awards after an extraordinary breakthrough season.
Section 5. Specialized and Continental Honors. Goals, Gloves, and Global Reach.
In the modern era, football's award ecosystem has rapidly expanded to honor highly specialized skills. Back in 2009, the Puskás Award arrived to celebrate the single most beautiful goal scored anywhere in the world. Then, following the Kopa Trophy in 2018, France Football introduced the Yashin Trophy in 2019 to exclusively honor the absolute best goalkeeper on the planet.
The recent winners of these specialized awards have been completely unbelievable. Argentina's Emiliano Martinez made actual football history by winning the Yashin Trophy back-to-back in 2023 and 2024. That is a ridiculous level of dominance and consistency for a goalkeeper. And for the Puskás Award, Alejandro Garnacho claimed the 2024 honor. If you witnessed his spectacular, logic-defying bicycle kick against Everton, you know exactly why it took the prize. Just sheer visual brilliance.
But you know, the game transcends just victories and stats. The FIFA Fair Play Award is presented annually for outstanding sportsmanship and integrity. In 2024, it went to Internacional's Thiago Maia, not for a goal, but for his courageous, real-world efforts assisting victims during the devastating floods in Rio Grande do Sul. It's a powerful reminder that true character matters just as much as talent.
To quickly round out the globe, it's important to note that every single continent honors its own top regional performers annually. You have the CAF African Player of the Year, recently won by Damola Lookman in 2024. The El Pais South American Player of the Year, the AFC Player of the Year for Asia, and the CONCACAF Player of the Year for North and Central America. Football excellence spans far beyond Europe.
So what does this all mean? I'll leave you with the provocative thought to ponder. Does a player actually need a Ballon d'Or, an award voted on by journalists for a single season, to be considered a true football legend? Or is the World Cup Golden Ball, earned under the crushing pressure of the quadrennial global stage, the ultimate proof of greatness? It's a debate that will probably rage on forever. Thanks for joining me for this explainer today.